adlaw sa tanan. Today's video, we're going to take you for an up close and personal of this new 2023 Suzuki S-Presso now with AGS. And for this video, I'm going to take this Suzuki S-Presso AGS for a startup and a full in-depth tour review, showing you the most interesting features from the interior as well as the exterior. So what are you waiting for? Let's sit back, relax and enjoy of this review.
Behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your loves.
First of all, I would like to extend a big thanks and special shout out to Grand Canyon Incorporated, Suzuki Iloilo, together with Mr. Anderpo, the president of Grand Canyon Incorporated, and Ms. Christine Marañon, the marketing manager of Grand Canyon Incorporated and the Daily Drive, and all of the rest of the teams, especially to the men and women of Suzuki Iloilo Grand Canyon Incorporated, for giving me this opportunity to feature their brand new models. If you have any inquiries regarding to their dealership or planning to buy a brand new vehicles from Suzuki within the Grand Canyon Incorporated company, please, you may head down to their dealership or you may contact them by the contact details located in the description box below. So let's begin our review. So, here's the key. Let's go ahead and get started. Centrally mounted instrument cluster, the updated Suzuki S-Presso comes with an electric rack and pinion power steering system. Featuring in this GL variant is a 3-spoke polyurethane steering wheel, and the steering wheel itself is now available with a mounted controls for the Bluetooth connectivity and audio system, which is located at the left spoke. Now this is what we're talking. The updated Suzuki S-Presso in the Philippines has only come with 2 transmission choice, whether it is a 5-speed manual or a Suzuki's auto gear shift, commonly known as an automated manual transmission. This is one of the unique automatic transmissions which you get in the market. The S-Presso's AGS contains reverse, neutral, and drive. If the car's in drive and if you flick the shifter to the left, it activates your manual shifting action using the plus and minus. Our radar parking sensors is standard for this car, but what I'm going to zonk to this car is the unavailability of a reverse camera. The updated Suzuki S-Presso comes with an updated engine. This engine, what I'm talking about, is the K10C, which contains 1.0 liter dual overhead cams, 12 valves, and a naturally aspirated inline 3-cylinder gasoline engine with multi-point fuel injection and now with a Dualjet system. What is interesting, this engine now comes with a variable valve timing and an auto start-stop feature, making this car become the most fuel efficient amongst all. Power figures of this engine are 67 horsepower at 5500 RPM and 90 Newton meters of torque at 3500 RPM. Fuel tank size is 27 liters with emission rating of Euro 4. For this transmission, the updated Suzuki S-Presso has a choice, either a 5-speed manual or the Suzuki's AGS. The drivetrain of the Suzuki S-Presso is a front-wheel drive vehicle. For the fuel economy, the Suzuki S-Presso AGS has achieved at around 22 km per liter in the city and 25.3 km per liter on the highway. Yes, the Suzuki S-Presso is one of the ideal choice for some buyers seeking for a fuel-efficient car, and that, my friends, is one of the best choice for you. Now let's talk about what's going on here. A lot of you are seeking for a budgeted city car which transports you from point A to point B, easy to drive and fuel efficient. From there are lots of choices that you can pick, like the Chang'an Alsvin, the Toyota Wigo, the Mitsubishi Mirage G4, and many more. However, there is one car that is very interesting for you to see, and yes, it has all what it needs, but it has more of it. What is it? Ruggedness and tall ride height. This is the characteristics that many of you will be surprised. Introduced in 2020 in the Philippines, I'd like to introduce to you the S-Presso, Suzuki's city car that a lot of you will change up your minds. Now with the AGS, I think you will be interested to this, but the question is, does the updated Suzuki S-Presso with the AGS transmission better from the previous model and other competitions out there? Let's find out. As of May this year, there are two variants available for the updated Suzuki S-Presso in the Philippines, such as the GL manual and the GL AGS. Today, we're going to focus on the AGS, and this is going to be the star of the show for this feature. Right off the bat, it is very obvious that the S-Presso is truly a city car because of its size, and sa lahat ng mga maliliit na kotse na available dito sa Pilipinas, the S-Presso is one of the tiniest car that you would get, and that is the big reason on why this car here is easy to drive, and making life easier, an AGS will do its thing. But we're talking about the shell itself. If you compare to the previous one, literally the styling cues and design are the same. Still gets the cuteness and quirkiness of its own, which reminded me of a cartoon character. Forget about cartoons, let's go on what are the components found into the exterior. Like the previous model, the updated ones gets the same lower body claddings all around, which makes the car rugged like an SUV. And speaking of SUV, Suzuki claimed that this is marketed as a micro SUV or a mini crossover, and that is a great advantage for many. Structure-wise, the S-Presso is built in a hard-tech platform of Suzuki, giving this car a lightweight and highly rigid structure, increases fuel efficiency, and it improves driving performance as well as safety. From there are some sleek lines and curves found into the car's design. Standard lighting features found into this car are relatively the same. Still, it gets a halogen multi-reflector headlights, position lights, and rear combination lights, which is very understandable for this type of a car, particularly at its price point. In front, you get a matte black front grille and a two-tone scheme in both front and rear bumpers, while on the sides it gets indicators on the front fenders and body-colored door handles and side mirrors. Speaking of mirrors, the side mirrors of the car is now power adjusting but not folding. At the back of the car, everything looks the same. It gets a neat and super clean look, but what is different? There is no Suzuki lettering badge that is stamped at the back. Updates found to the interior are steering wheel audio controls, a new infotainment system, and many more. Overall, nothing much different from the previous one. Still, it gets an average cabin space, creature comforts, and a very interesting interior. To sum up the story, the updated Suzuki S-Presso has a lot of improvements from inside, outside, and the most important is its powertrain. Even it has a minor difference compared to the previous model, still it leaves a very good impression for many. The question here is, how does this car drive? Well, we will find out more on that in the future, but I could guarantee you that your driving experience will be more fun and exciting because it offers with an AGS and other improvements. Amazing! The Suzuki S-Presso GL gets 14-inch two-tone alloy wheels that are wrapped in MRF ZV-TV Eco Tread tires that measures 165/70 R14. Brakes are ventilated discs in front and drums at the back. For the suspension, McPherson struts and torsion beams are applied for both front and rear respectively. Speaker, storage in the bottle holder, mirror controls. This car is featured with an auto start stop, if this system is activated, the engine will momentarily shut off when you arrive at a stop such as a traffic light or traffic jam to save extra bit of fuel depending what the car is running on. And right here is your button to turn off or on your traction control. Bonnet release lever, boot release, fuel door release. The Suzuki S-Presso AGS gets a fully manual adjustments. Got your seat back, and down there is your seat sliding position. You have the same set of adjustments as found on the driver's side, like your seat back, and down there is your seat sliding position. Alright, so let's start it up with the door closed.
The updated Suzuki S-Presso GL comes with an updated 7-inch touchscreen new generation display audio head unit with vehicle information display, various media connectivity settings including your Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the sound system itself is provided with 2 speakers.
I must say that the stock sound system of the Suzuki S-Presso kind of like slightly horsey, but the sound quality is not too bad at all. As shown earlier, your hand operated parking brake, right here 2 cup holders and a storage, a 120 watts of 12-volt power outlet, USB port, standard aircon controls, got your different modes to the left, temperature to the right, fan speed, your defrost, air conditioning, and this is your recirculation outside air. Hazard switch, which are flanked with 2 window controls. Currently you are in a Bluetooth audio streaming, so this is your infotainment itself. So this is your Bluetooth audio streaming with your current song title information, album artist, album art, that doubles up as your play and pause, seek track, repeat, shuffle, search your different kinds of songs or albums, whatnot. Let's go to the sound settings. On your sound settings, this is your, consider it as a media settings or sound settings, whatever. This is your, you can activate your, you can adjust the bass, mid, treble, balance, fader, equalizer presets, volume, and so on and so forth.
hit this button to go to your home menu. Right here is your current menu. This one right here that can read your fuel economy. This is your date and time settings to sync your GPS or whatnot, and swipe it down. This is your quick access hub. On your quick access hub, this contains your system beep, 24-hour format, phone linkage, auto brightness. You can edit this if you want to. Image, edit home screen, call contact, pair devices, display, audio settings, date time settings, and your quick guide. There you go. Favorites. You can select your favorites, or you can edit your favorites right here, depending what to choose from. Per devices, that you can add device through this infotainment via the mobile devices that you are using with. Contacts. However, connect this. Through this, you can connect to your smartphone via the USB. System settings. On your system settings, you got your display, date and time, language, and all that. Sound, dakdadakay natin. Phone linkage, you can pair device list through phone. Vehicle settings, alerts, notifications, and alerts. This is your display settings. You can adjust the brightness, contrast, go to your change your wallpaper, all that. This is your quick guide, as I showed you before. Well, on a jolly note, that's pretty much it in this infotainment system of the Suzuki S-Presso AGS. To the left of the screen, you got your power button, phone controls, mute button, home button, voice recognition system, media button, and media settings. Media menu, and this is your phone menu. This button right here that goes to your multi-information display. There you go. And this instrument cluster right here is flanked with 2 aircon vents. Your light indicator controls. Now the Suzuki S-Presso AGS now comes with a multi-function controls. Here you got your seat track, up and down arrows for your volume, and hit this button right here to go to your different sets of modes. A button to turn on or off your mute button, on hook and off buttons for your Bluetooth telephone menu and your voice recognition system. Wiper controls. Well, as I guess, there's no tilt and telescopic adjustment for the steering wheel of the Suzuki S-Presso. So I will give this a zonk to that. As in, wala to. Wala naman to. No grip handle for the driver's side sun visor, front cabin light, and your manual dimming rearview mirror.
front passenger side sun visor, grip handle for the front passenger side located at the ceiling, storage, and a good size amount of glove box. Alright, so that is it for our startup. We can put this vehicle off and continue with the rest of our review. The feature that are found in all rear door panels is that it gets a manual window control. The rear seat backs of the S-Presso can be fold down at one piece. To do this, pull these two levers at the same time. As you pull it both together, drop it down.
Alright, let's talk about the rear seats of the S-Presso, but before that, I just want to talk about the rear seats on how it opens. You see, it opens pretty wide in an almost like 90-degree angle, providing you an easy ingress and egress. Space-wise, the rear cabin of the car is on an average size. I received a good ample amount of room to my knees and a decent sized headroom. As a 5'9" tall person, there's no problem to that, even though the positioning of the rear seats is a bit upright for some passengers. I'm not quite sure how a 6 feet tall person will sit into that. Anyway, the seat is slightly supported but comfortable as it is, thanks to its nicely padded fabric seats. There's no storage pockets found at the front seat backs, but there is one storage found in the middle. A grip handles can be found on both sides at the ceiling for the rear ones.
There are two different ways to pop up the rear hatch of the Suzuki S-Presso. The first way is by the lever inside the cabin that I showed you before, or the key. Insert it, twist it to the right, and open up.
Boot space of the Suzuki S-Presso is 239 liters when all the rear seats are upright. In order to maximize the space of the boot, fold down the rear seats using the two levers to pull it at the same time, which folds in one piece, and remove the privacy cargo cover. Underneath at the boot floor is the vehicle's spare tire together with a toolkit and jack. The Suzuki S-Presso GL AGS gets an improved safety features for the 2023 model year, and these are 2 airbags, anti-lock braking system, electronic stability program, hill hold control, rear parking sensors, ELR seatbelts in all seats, child-proof door locks for the rear doors, ISOFIX child seats and tether anchors for the rear seats, and immobilizer.
Thank you for tuning in to the startup and a full in-depth tour review of this 2023 Suzuki S-Presso AGS. I hope you like this video, and if you do, make sure you hit thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, if you are subscribed to my channel, please hit the notification bell button to get notified for my latest updates. And don't forget, follow all of my social media platforms. As always, I'll see you next time for more latest videos on YouTube. God bless you, more power, I love you all, and mabuhay.
Makikita mo ako sa kalsada with the homies. Kulang kami kasi yung iba hanap ng police. Pilipinas hustler, peso, peso, peso. Mga Pinay ko magkakilala